while these 27 came out and refused to be part of that,
yes.
the complex, their National Assembly complex was demolished. So automatically the assembly must hold, they must sit.
Yes.
So they have to go somewhere else.
Exactly.
And they did it. So everything is working for with the benefit of Fubara.
But you know what? Just like somebody said, he should be made the dean of politics. You never can tell the twist that is going to come in regards to this story. So let them not be too happy. Anything can happen, and I'm sure it's the wise ones that are also calling on the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu to quickly wage in for peace to reign in Rivers politics. But we just hope that in no time they'll be able to resolve their crisis. But of course, this is a battle of who is the strongest, and they always say that I'm trying to remember how it's the game of the game of the survival of the fittest. You understand? So let's get to see either is the FCT minister that will be the strongest, or the sitting governor himself. Only time will tell.
But whatever the case may be, Wike too needs to understand that he is no longer the governor of Rivers State, and the people need to work with the sitting governor, who happens to be the #1 citizen. Whatever influence he has to tone it down a bit. I mean, so that the people, because as it is right now, the people of Rivers State are tilting towards Fubara. They are not being loyal longer, and that is because they are saying that Wike is trying to be the godfather that only thinks about himself. So people are not happy with the situation. So if I were to be an advisor to Wike, I would say, look, just call this young man and then have a discourse, and then just tone things down a little bit, let him rule, and one way or the other he will definitely do your bidding, but then not, he has to tone it down a bit.
You know what, Shego? It's quite interesting the way you've spoken, but you have just spoken like a gentleman. Of course, expectedly, that is what a gentleman should do. But right here, we're talking about politicians. We're talking about very rugged politicians, all right?
Okay, yes.
And what you have to know is this. See, I'm of the view that it is better you give Caesar what belongs to Caesar. And that's the truth. The truth of the matter is, when Fubara became the governor, he was the same person that threw his weight behind him,
yes,
and did all he can to bring him to power. So, which means if these people that are not talking or that are trying to pitch him against his predecessor, what happened then? If they know they are strong, why didn't they push Fubara in such a way that their own candidate, they are strong enough to make their candidates win that very governorship election? Then you can have a say, and then you'll be able to change how politics is being played there. But hello, excuse me, this is the predecessor that brought him to power. Okay, so Fubara has to think about it, and I'm not trying to say that I am in support of godfatherism, but there are some realities you just have to come to terms with. As much as it might not all go well with you, but this is the situation on ground. So what do you do? So if you can't change something, all you need to do is work. You try to get yourself acquainted with it. You just have to flow with it. And they say if you're in Rome, you behave like a Roman. So what are we talking about?
But they both have to come to an agreement, right? Okay. You know, when you give what belongs to Caesar, Caesar will never be satisfied.
The reality is you have to first understand that Caesar is Caesar. Now, until the subordinates understand that he has a superior, it's difficult for the superior to come down to the level of the subordinates. And the way it is, take it as from any way angle you want to look at it, Wike remains a very strong politician, and in terms of politics in Nigeria, he remains senior to Fubara. So Fubara rather. So I would advise Fubara to show wisdom, to use wisdom in dealing with the matter, so that they don't end his political career.
Because I mean, it's just starting. It's just starting.
He's still very young in politics, so he needs to.
Use wisdom. Moving on to page 8. Inflation, exchange rate to drop in 2024. That's CBN. That's from CBN Governor I hope this is true. And then
You know what, Chevy, this is just like it's just like the Apex Bank just want to talk because okay, well,
what if they have works in the pipeline to cushion all of this?
do you know how long the Nigerian government has been telling us that
But this-
refineries are going to be fixed?
But this is a new dispensation, new administration.
I know. I'm just saying that you have to. This if you're going forward, you need to look at where you're coming from. All right. We have a nation that we know that it's just like in Nigeria. It's difficult for any price to go up and suddenly it comes down. It's just something that doesn't really happen. I mean, look at 50 naira now. Even 100 naira is gradually losing its value. You understand? And so, I mean, these days now, people want to eat. If you want to eat a restaurant food, you spend nothing less than 800. Now you're even looking at 1,000 and even beyond. Say even 1,500 or 2,000.
What do you want to buy for 800? Snacks.
Even snacks.
One snack.
One donut now goes for 400, 500. Maybe if you want to buy the local ones, I don't know.
So how
but I know one donut now at least 400, and then even the pie and all of that.
It's crazy.
For you to come out and tell us that inflation, well, I really don't know the strategies they are going to use in achieving this. But I just hope that this is not just a statement to calm Nigerians down and to just raise their hope. But of course, we know where we're coming from. It has always been a situation where the government and the officials or the public officials will come raise your hope and you're expecting so much, and at the end of the day that hope is dashed. So my advice is, Shegun, let's stop building a castle in the air and let's just face it the way it is. And I would even advise, as December it winds down, I would advise that for those of you that love to party and everything, remember the rainy days. You understand? Remember that January is coming very soon, and you have school fees to pay. You have a lot of expenses to meet or to pay.
January is the longest month. It has 60 days.
And if God will help you work with an organization that they've not really gotten their footing right,
13 months.
then it means maybe by January you'll be receiving your salary on the maybe 78th or on the 90th
or 80th day
or 90th. So the advice for me for Nigerians right now is to really take it cool and know how you spend in such a way that you remain something for January.
All right, let's quickly look at this one. Patriotism will put Nigeria on right path. Tinubu, that's from our dear president Tinubu. And then another one says
That's encouraging anyway.
It is. On page 11, it says World Igbo Congress urges Supreme Court to free Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally.
Well, it seems this is always in the papers. This week it's been being featured on most of the dailies, and where the Igbos, the Ohanese, right? How they call themselves now. I mean, the Apex Igbo Group Association, calling on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to give Kanu Wanko to them as Christmas gift. But well, I don't see this happening. Actually, I don't see it happening. But let's see how the president will take it. Whether the president is going to listen to them or is going to use the security or information gathering or intelligence gathering, so to say, to determine the case of Nnamdi Kanu. Only time we tell. Do not forget that even in the East, it is part of his advocates, his supporters, that are also launching attacks on fellow Igbos in the East. And I know that the government of Nigeria that I know, they will never take that with levity, and they won't usually with kick gloves. So I do not see them releasing Nnamdi Kanu because they just feel that, okay, these are people speaking for him, but what about the individual himself? This is an individual that you can see that he's so strong-willed, and even if he's allowed and given that freedom, he's going to achieve what he has said he's going to achieve. So it might be pretty difficult for the government to trust to those that are advocating for his release. But I just hope that government will be able to release him, because at least it is right to freedom.
Yes, I just hope so too. All right, finally, let's just look at this on page 7. Ekiti bloody robbery. police says we've recovered 3 vehicles.
Oh, right. I think this is a good one. At least it happened yesterday. Was it yesterday?
No,
Wednesday?
no, yeah.
I know it's
So
this
they-
week the robbery attack occurred, and for the police, so it just shows you that really the Nigerian police are working, and if they really want to work without any political interference, they will work and they will deliver. That's the truth. I know that about the Nigeria police force. So with this now, it means that they are getting close to the root of the matter, or in bringing culprits to book.
Yeah.
Because with that, with those cars and everything, if they continue with the investigation, it means that we will see those who have carried out the robbery attack. Do not forget the one that happened also in Benue State. Even when it looks like they're not going to be perpetrators to book, eventually the Nigerian police, they were able to, produce these armed robbers.
And the Nigerian police, they are actually good at what they do, but when there's political interference with it, then it becomes a problem, because now they want to work, but they are being restricted. So they just have to answer up and then let everything slide like that. But
I've even had a situation where there's this woman, the child who is about 23 or thereabouts, went to serve in, went for NYSC. She was coming from Osun State, then she dropped at Ibadan to take a bus, and eventually she didn't get home, called the mother that she's a bus, and she never got home. As I'm talking to you, up until now, the girl remains missing. Now, what am I trying to say in essence? When the mother went, deep into the case, got police, the police were able to trace the girl's phone to the nurse in Kano. Yes,
From
one
Ibadan.
Alhaji. And at the end of the day, they brought him to Kwanti. According to the mother, it was. I had her on my own program on Super Eye, and then so the man was arrested and kept in police custody at Kwanti. We won't believe that when the woman went again, they told her that they got order from Abuja that the Alhaji should be released. And so the woman came here crying on my program, and I felt so bad for her. And we tried to investigate the matter, called the PRO, and the case went on like that. But I want to tell you that up until now, the girl has not been found. So it's just for you to know that indeed, if there are no political interference,
Yes.
the police will do a whole lot.
yes, it's politics that's not making us enjoy
Joy, yeah.
the benefits of
It's the services of the police.
of the police. All right, so let me take this one too, then we can call it. COVID-19 resurgence in Benue report a misrepresentation of World Health Organization statement, NCDC.
Interesting.
Because now people are saying COVID-19 is back, this and that, but I just hope is misrepresentation of World Health Organization statement.
Well, if indeed COVID-19, they said there's a resurgence in Benue, and they said the reports there is a misrepresentation of WHO's statement. That's what NSCDC said. But I just hope that indeed it's a misrepresentation, because nobody wants to go through that challenge of COVID-19 again, because we know what COVID-19 did to us. Even though some people still believe that there is no COVID-19, well, others have agreed that there's COVID-19, but of course, it has not left us with any good story, no good tales to tell about COVID-19, so we can't even afford to have COVID-19 again. So let it just be a foregone issue, a foregone virus, epidemic, so we don't want to experience it again. It's a pandemic. The whole world, the whole world does not pray it occur again. And now to the next paper review, we are taking the Punch newspaper, and the major headline on the front page of the Punch newspaper reads, "Reject World Bank's 750 naira per litre proposal. NLC warns federal government." And the writer reads, "Labour says fresh price hike will lead to anarchy. FG insists subsidy has been removed." And another writer reads, "Tinubu government fears unrest, subsidizing fuels secretly. marketers allege project 1,000 naira per liter. Did you see that, Shegu?
From 750 to 1,000.
No. You know, as of yesterday, the World Bank came out to say that the government should sell
at
the fuel at 750 naira per liter. And now the labor unions, the NLC precisely, has said that the presidency shouldn't even try it. The federal government should not attempt it because if they do, it will lead to anarchy. And I think that what the Nigeria Labour Congress is saying is not far from the truth, because Shegu, you and I can feel the atmosphere. We can feel the pains of Nigerians. I mean, we will feel their pulse almost on daily basis. So we can tell you that the pressure at the moment is high, and so truly the Nigerian government should not even attempt to increase at all. We know that every January we are being greeted with one form of surprise of either the fuel price is increased or there is no fuel. I'm very certain one of these is what is going to welcome us into January. But I hope that it will change for the first time, because if it changes, then we should celebrate. Because it's always been after 1 year, going into another year in Nigeria is always one pain or the other. And this must stop.
But the bad thing would be if the same thing repeats itself, maybe there's no fuel to buy or they increase the pump price, then Tinubu's administration will might be the one to suffer for it, because people are angry as it stands exactly now. So come January 2024, if there's increase in price, people might be forced to take action.
And another twist to that story is that oil marketers have also alleged that the federal government is paying subsidy secretly. All right? Now the federal government has consistently denied that. And I also remember that the president of Pengatson has always come out to say that the federal government is paying subsidy secretly. And what the marketers are saying, that the federal government projects 1,000 naira per liter. So in order for Nigerians not to be paying 1,000 naira per liter, that's why the federal government is being paying secretly. It's been secretly paying for fuel subsidy. But how true that is, well, only time will tell. So we just keep our fingers crossed and see how events will turn out. But I know that any increase again might likely lead to anarchy, just as the Nigeria Labour Congress has posited.
Definitely.
So moving on the front, staying with the front page of the Punch newspaper, the headline here reads, Customs generates 70% revenue from Lagos, says Comptroller General. For more on that story, please check page 30 of the Punch newspaper. You're aware, of course, they had the conference yesterday on the island, and definitely these are some of the major news in that very conference. Another headline reads, 32 states budget 14 trillion naira for roads, health, others. For more on the story, please check page 29 of the Punch newspaper. Following that headline directly reads, kidnappers return to Lagos. My goodness. Abduct 2, demand 500 million naira ransom. Oh, Shegun, you just see, I mean, I don't get it.
We've said this thing before.
You know that just yesterday, Lagos State got a new commissioner of police, and the new commissioner of police, of course, gave sounded a note of warning, of course, to criminals. He told Nigerians told Lagosians rather, that they should be at rest. Their mind should be at rest. That the Yuletide period is covered. That he is assuring them of maximum security. But little do we know that we wake up this morning to be hearing that kidnappers have already returned to Lagos. And if kidnappers have returned to Lagos, Shegu, it means that the new commissioner of police and his officers and men have a whole lot of work to do. They have a whole lot of work at hand, and they are demanding 500 million ransom. That is huge. And this also tells us the situation in the country. Who knows And this is what I say: when the economy is bad, people will take to robbery.
Now,
Yeah.
my take on this is still kidnapping should be how do I put it, a capital offense, right? Now, somebody cannot kidnap and then you apprehend the person and they're just going to keep the person in one cell. I mean, do the needful. You need to discourage this. It has to be discouraged, because now if these guys go scot-free, get paid and then go scot-free, they will definitely do another one. They will strike again, and you just strike again. Another group from somewhere will spring up and strike, and then will now.
Well,
our leaders are not ready yet. That's what I believe. They are not ready yet.
Until we put punitive measure to all of these criminal activities, that means that people will continue to take advantage of these crimes. And I really love the way Punch did it. They put the new commissioner of police picture there, which means that they are indeed talking to the commissioner of police, that here you are, look at it, you have just been posted to Lagos State as commissioner of police, and the kidnappers are sending you a message that they are more than ready for you. So it remains to be seen how the new Commissioner of Police Lagos State, Fayode, will be able to prove his ability to contain crime in Lagos State. And now another headline to stay with the Punch newspaper. The headline reads: National Assembly probes $496 million Itakpe Iron Ore judgment payment. For more on the story, please check page 29 of the Punch newspaper. Now, moving atop the Punch newspaper, the headline there reads: 6 Rivers commissioners resign, Assembly factions hold parallel sittings. APC faults, the writer reads: APC faults Rivers court verdict, vows to petition NJC. At page 18, you see, interestingly, the court never knew that the ruling would be in favor of Fubara. But this is what has happened now. But don't you see that it seems that the APC is becoming too overconfident? Because even look at the statements. APC False Rivers Court verdict, vows to petition NJC. Is there something we don't know? Is the allegation that the APC are using the courts, to subvert the will of the people? Could this be true?
APC are the ruling party.
Because they are actually acting like they own the courts.
So they are the ruling party, and they believe this set of politicians, this set of lawmakers, believe that they are the one in charge.
And so all courts' judgment should be in their favor. The same thing that happened in Kano State, where the courts also suspended the governor. The governor of the state.
Yes.
So, and now there's been crisis in that very region. Well, I just hope that if the APC is thinking that indeed they own the courts, they really need to have a rethink. Because the court should actually not be for one political party, either being the ruling party or not being the ruling party. I think the judiciary too, they have a lot of work to do. They need to prove to Nigerians their innocence. They need to prove to Nigerians that they are not tools in the hand of the ruling party. Still staying with the Punch newspaper, another headline reads: Aviation agencies, 50 directors sacked. EFCC grills NCAA chiefs. For more on that story, please check page 29 of the Punch newspaper. And that wraps it up on the Punch newspaper.
All right, so quickly let's go to the Nigerian Tribune. The headline says: we expect less revenue from oil exports in 2024. So now my question, CBN governor. So my question is, really? So we export oil, and NPC, where are the dollars?
That's the question. That's the $1 million
question yet to be
$1 million
answered.
question that we are waiting for NNPC to respond to, but NNPC hasn't responded to that.
All right. The writer says blames illegal bunkering, divestment by IOCs, says inflation, exchange rate to decline. I mean, CBN is very confident that inflation will decline, and I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that hopefully come next year, first quarter, okay, maybe second quarter, something will be done, and we'll all rejoice. We'll be happy. We'll enjoy the dividends of democracy, like you've all been saying. What have you benefited from your country? Maybe from next year, second quarter or first quarter, you will now see things that you'll be benefiting from your country.
Actually, Segun, I love your optimism, and I can't wait for my hope to indeed be renewed, and let me be basking in the euphoria of the goodness and the hope promised by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We can't just wait. I mean, that's when I'll be so glad to celebrate my president. And I'm sure this is the position of most Nigerians.
All right, so moving on to page 12, it says NAS to probe $496 million payment. This money, we're just hearing this money. We're hearing the money. Okay, payment to Indian firm on Itakpe iron ore concession. Another one says Supreme Court decides Nnamdi Kanu's fate today.
Wow. Yes, yes, that's right.
So hopefully, His Excellency, that's the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he will just give it, because the honors they've been clamoring, please give us Kanu as Christmas gift. Maybe, just maybe.
But it's the court that is determining his case, right?
Yes, but I mean, the courts still, the president can influence it, right? The president can influence it. So you could just call the chief judge, the justice, that look, I mean, just.
So you are certain the president can actually influence the court?
Of course.
Okay. So if that's the case, why are we then arguing about one party losing losing a case, one case or the other?
Of course, they are civil servants. The judges are civil servants.
Okay.
The government.
So he who pays the piper dictates the tune. So I don't think then we should be having any argument or crying out over the judgment, to an extent being in the favor of the ruling party. I mean,
no, that's another different ballgame. You know, this one, right? It was
national interest.
Yes, and then the previous administration that brought him to Boo, right, did that illegally. You don't just go overnight and bundle somebody into the country. You understand? So this administration might just want to redeem the image. You understand? So hopefully, let's see how it unfolds. I mean, it's today.
An administration of the redeem and the redeemables.
Okay, finally, on Nigerian Tribune, to wrap it up, funding still major challenge in universities, vice chancellors. So the vice chancellors are saying the major challenge in universities is funding.
Yeah.
I think that's a major challenge in every aspect.
Actually, paucity of funds has always been a major challenge. And how can you even run a good institution when you do not have funding? I mean, for you to have good lecturers, you need to pay them.
Yes.
Even for the institution to be, to create an enabling environment in the institution, you still need funds. I mean, to carry out research, you need funding. So I think that's not far-fetched. It will just be for the government to make these funds available. And of course, that has always been the reason for which these lecturers always take to the streets, protesting. They're just fighting for their rights because they say they need to save the tertiary institutions. And I think that I stand with them in this.
Well, I need to, sorry, let me quickly take this one. I just need to take this
I
one.
was wondering when you said you wanted to wrap up.
Makinde cautions traditional rulers against giving permission for mining. Sean's coronation begins with 150 million naira empowerment. Now, this permission for mining, we have two states with the highest deposits of gold in Nigeria, Zamfara and Osun State. I wouldn't say all the gold, but they have mined the gold in Osun State to an extent that even you will be wondering. And then we are not seeing the impact in Osun State.
Okay, but this is marketing of your state.
Yes, it's telling the traditional rulers because I mean, they come to your village and then they go straight to the traditional rulers. Please, we want to do this one, and then those one will be like, okay, maybe because of the money they want to give them, they will just approve.
No. What I think is this. I think I'm seeing a situation where it appears the traditional rulers are doing beyond their powers. They are going beyond the level they are supposed to stop. You have to know that, of course, even as a traditional ruler, the governor of the state is still in charge.
Yes.
The governor of the state is still the #1 citizen. And so, truly, for Makinde to come out and say this in the open, it means he must have had meetings with them at different occasions in secret for them not to, go beyond their boundaries. But unfortunately, it appears the traditional rulers do not want to stop. But you don't blame them. You know how powerful the Alafin of Oyo is and all other traditional rulers there. And so they believe, I want to believe that they hold it strong, they hold their traditional rulers, are very strong and
Yes.
stronger than the governors. So most likely their loyalty is still tilted more to the traditional rulers. But for him to be coming out to say this, they have to know that they need to still give all of the authority to the governor of the state. But I just hope that they were able to find a place of reckoning in such a way that peace will reign in Oyo State.
Okay, so Tinubu as Minister of Petroleum illegal, Falana says. You can find that on page 4 and 29. And then the writer says President not screened by Senate.
So what you see, my concern is, yes, Falana has been saying this. We've been hearing him saying that the president being a petroleum minister is illegal. But you see, I used to say something. If you want to go forward, you need to look back and see where you're coming from. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not be the first to be saying that it is illegal for the president to be the minister. After all, even the last administration of Muhammadu Buhari, he was the petroleum minister. I can't remember if Falana spoke to that then. Now we have a Yoruba person at the helm of affairs. It is still a Yoruba legal practitioner, the SAN, Femi Falana, that is against him. You see, this is the challenge that we have in the country, and that's why I keep saying that it is wrong for people to divide us as a nation based on religion, based on ethnicity. The truth of the matter is, the country and the individuals is about their personal interest.
Yes.
I mean, because if it's about ethnicity, we shouldn't be expecting Falana to come out now and be saying it is wrong and opposing the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu for being the petroleum minister. You understand me? This was what I wasn't too sure that he said during former President Muhammadu Buhari. But in any case, let's bring the matter to the table. Is it right or wrong? Okay, if you even want to be the minister of petroleum as the president, why have you not gone to the Senate for screening for that position? Do you understand? So that's why there are certain things that are done, upside down. Now, Shegun, I'm looking at it critically. I'm not pitching my tent with Falana, neither am I pitching my tent with the president. But I'm saying on both sides, on different sides, everybody has their own faults.
Yeah.
But in reality, if the president is the minister of petroleum, it's like you not getting anything out of it. Because who's going to challenge the president? Who will?
Now, in an economy or in a civilized world, if the president wants to become the minister of petroleum, right, that means he must have a good track record, right, of honesty, integrity. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying honesty and integrity, because the former governor of Central Bank, Sanusi, the dethroned emir, said NNPC is the most corrupt sector, right? And that is because of the involvement of crude oil in and out, outflow and inflow, and then the funds they are generating, not being accountable for it. If the president is in charge of that affair, he can, scrutinize it, like, okay, this went out, this came in, how much did you make from it? How much did you sell this? Why are you taking this out? But
you know what, Shegun, can I say something? See, even if the president has a gold record, as you put it, if he gets to he becomes the minister of petroleum, you understand me, he's going to be corrupt. And I beg to be corrected. He is going to be corrupt. Now look at the one in which the president was not the minister of petroleum. The last minister of petroleum we had that is neither a president but just a petroleum minister was Diazini Alison Madueke, and it was during Goodluck Ebele Jonathan presidency. And what happens to today? There are 101 cases of corruption, hanging around her. There are cases of her buying bribes of what in dollars. You understand? Huge amount of money.
That's the Nigeria factor.
The Nigeria factor, right? So what am I trying to say? Have you wondered why during the last administration of Muhammadu Buhari, oil subsidy continues, right? When the president was coming in which, of course, they have been, they've been a situation like the sitting president then was, the body language says he was not interested in passing the baton to the sitting president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So this is what some people feel, that most likely this oil subsidy, which some people have come out to say that indeed there's no oil subsidy, is like the petroleum minister that is eating the oil subsidy. Do you understand? Now, because the outgoing president feels, oh, this man is rich enough, there's no way I would allow him to be taking this oil subsidy money. So part of the condition for us to hand over to you must be that you must remove fuel subsidy. Do you understand? Which was removed, because let's look at this thing critically. Because the way it is now, even the president who wants to be the minister, he is the minister of petroleum,
by default.
God help us. Shegun, I think we
us.
need to wrap up with newspaper review.
All right. I just know that someday we'll get it right in this country.
Hopefully, with what Shegun has said, let's keep our hopes alive that just one day, like one of the, it's not Eddie that sang that song, one day, it go better for Nigeria. So hopefully one day Nigeria is going to get better and we'll all be happy for it. And I hope that we are also part of that celebration. That is not, if it's not going to happen in the next 10 decades, I only hope it happens soon. All right, viewers, right about now we'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll quickly look at hash trends and hashtags. So stay with us.
White eyes, a thorn in the flesh.
We need to remove him, otherwise we are going to be in trouble. You must kill him today, not tomorrow. Today!
There's a handsome price on your head. And if you can top it, you walk free.
She's even awake. She's awake?
Will you stop that? And don't you dare repeat that again.
What is she doing?
I don't know.
My son is nowhere to be found and you asked me to relax. I can't.
So we're not going to eat?
You have to eat. Look at you. So you actually want to eat that food?
The way this food is smelling, I think it's really going to be delicious.
Oh, my son! Oh, my son!
What are you doing here?
I will not let you send her out.
She's your rival, you know.
I know she's your wife, and I know it's not right for you to treat her like that.
You heard me. Send yourself out before I come back to this house.
Well, so glad to have you back. It is still the Friday edition of Uford 5 Morning Show. Yes, it's about the time where we look at our trends and hashtags. Share
Yes, it's the moment we'll be waiting for. Time to relax. Okay, so now Solomon Bucci, you guys know Solomon Bucci, the love coach, relationship coach, everything coach, right? So he says, Christian woman in bikinis, God sees my heart. The same Christian woman does BBL. She says, God sees my heart. Now it says the Christian woman posts photos of her laps. She says, God sees my heart. The Christian woman goes further to flaunt her cleavage. She says, God sees my heart. She says the Christian woman wears a shower gown. She still says, God sees my heart. He said, enough further. He said, yes, God sees your heart, but we are not God. And according to your dressing and carriage, you sell your body. God will forever see your heart, but men need to see your character to know that you're separated. So he said this. Then somebody now tackled him and said, I've been wanting to say this, but I kept holding myself back. Right? But now that you have come out like this, let me come. So he now said, your wife, you said nobody should open cleavage because your wife, when you go to her page, she opened her cleavage. Her cleavage is exposed. And then he now responded to the guy like, go to the page and go and check. But then on getting there, the pictures were not there again. So maybe he has spoken to her like, look, I cannot be speaking against these things and then you have this. So they deleted it. But then the person that said your wife's cleavage is open had saved those pictures.
Oh, so then
So you now brought the picture up again like, okay, is this not your wife? You preach this and your wife is doing the same opposite what you're preaching. So what are you telling us?
Well, you see, this is a case of a kettle calling pot black. But then again, we still also have to understand that even as man and wife, we don't come from the same background. Exactly. And it means that, yes, he might be against it. But the question is, him being against it, is this not part of what attracted him to the wife? You understand? Yes, I believe it was part of what attracted him to the wife, but he also thought about it that this is wrong. Because these days you see Christian women, really, those who are the religious people, the churchgoers, daily basis and everything, they wear things that expose their body and all of that. And they will say, I don't mean any harm, God sees my heart, God sees my... But what this guy is saying is the truth. God sees your heart, but human being can see your character. And so this is also reminding us that we need to go back and remold our characters in such a way that people who are, righteous, so to say, will be able to identify with you. Because what will you be inculcating in your children? I mean, these are mothers, who does this. They even do it in church. And I've even heard pastors come out to say, stop wearing skimpy things. There are some pastors who even say they are going to place a curse if you come to their church with all the skimpy dress. You can't go to church that way, you understand? So I don't think they should actually clamp down on this guy. I mean, nobody's perfect. Even at the time of your realization, as long as you realizes it, then why not? The person has changed, and they say, the Bible also say that old wine has, I'm trying to remember that part of the Bible. Unfortunately, even Shem,
wish Solomon was here. Solomon would have helped you out. So growing up as an Anglican, you have to go to collect communion. So you go forward, and they have to kneel down in front of the reverend, the vicars, the pastors, and all of that. And most of these ladies, young ladies, open cleavage, and once you kneel down, you're kneeling right in front of the man, and the man has to look at you to give you the communion. What are you trying to do?
Seduction.
You understand?
Daughters of Jezebel.
You daughters of Jezebel, please don't wear it to church, please. But then some people feel it's fashion sense. The world is
every day you should do it to moderation. I mean, you don't have to go all the way, and that's why for me, even those who go about this crazy gene and all that, I've never been a fan of it. There are sometimes even my reporters wait to, and I'll be like, what is this? What are you putting on? How do you feel with this crazy gene? And some crazy gene are so crazy. Like, are you crazy? Even from the name, Crazy Jane, is made from crazy, and I feel that it's people that are dope, you understand, that should be putting on those things. But you are not mad, and you want to make yourself mad, and so you go for Crazy Jane. Well, I'm not. My own fashion sense, it does not align with such nonsense.
All right. Let's take a look at this one. Finally, okay. So this young man says he wants to do walkathon. We've seen a walkathon. Right now we're seeing a walkathon, and he wants to walk 119.4 kilometers just to see Frank Edward.
He's not going to be the first to do that. So it's not big deal. Have you forgotten the Hausa guy that came from Castina all the way on road? Or at a point in time, I think he used his bicycle, and on the way, criminals collected the bicycle and beat her out of the head. At the end of the day, he was able to walk, and then he came to Alausa, Ikeja. Even the day the president was going to come and say, he was saying he's come because of Tinubu, he loves him, he does this, he does. See, all of these things, they are just, it's a format. Do you understand? It's a format for you to get to the heart of the individual involved. Do you understand me? At the end of the day, he couldn't even near the president, because the president came, he wasn't the president, he was a candidate of the All Progressives Congress. He was able to Tom Prince. I mean, he was able to vote, and then immediately, of course, what do you expect with the protocols? Took him into the guy and he moved. The guy was there, he hasn't baited for days. Only God knows if they've not used him for blood money, then he means that his stars are really with him and his mother is with him. So for me, if this man is ready to walk this how many kilometers because of Frank Edward, even the Frank Edward before he became a star, he never walked miles for anybody. You understand? And that's not what is going to bring out the star in you. It is better he concentrates his energy on developing himself. If he wants to be a star, he wants to go and learn instruments and begin somewhere rather than idolizing somebody.
He said he loves Frank Edward so much that Frank Edward is a legend. He's working
for cheap attention
from Abeokuta to Lagos.
Thank God, it's just
it's not far. But then Frank Edward said, you better go back, don't come. That he is not in the country. Isha cannot fly to Nigeria because this person wants to work. Somebody was like, just appreciate him now. Say appreciate for what? I don't encourage this.
God bless Frank Edward. Anyway, I've always known the Franks, like they are always very frank. You understand? Like their name depicts. A Frank as a man in a name is as frank as his name. You understand me? So this is frankly speaking, and I love what Frank did to him. That don't come with all this your gimmicks. You understand? These are the formats they use in Nigeria that till today our image you know, in the outside community has been dented because they just believe there's nothing in Nigeria saying that is the truth, that they are a bunch of liars. And this is very bad. Why would you be? But what's that? Is you looking for somebody, if you appreciate the person so much, do something significant for the person and not for you to work and kill yourself, because you will just kill yourself with the economy we're talking about that is bad. No, let's call it spade a spade. The economy is bad and someone wants to work all the way from, just tell us you don't have money for transportation, because the truth of the matter is transportation is on the high side now.
Yes.
So most likely doesn't have transportation and he just wants the world to know him. You know, everybody they are thinking, which way can I use to sell myself? How can I get to the heart of many Nigerians? It's a cheap publicity, my brother. Please forget about it. Some people have done it in the past and it does not end them anything. Shegu, please.
Okay, well, I think that's all we should be able to take today because time is fast spent.
Oh, yeah. No, but I think you should take this degree alone.
Okay, all right. So, now, JAMB registrar is saying degree alone, right, cannot guarantee job for you in Nigeria. Degree alone. So now my question is, sir, as we are learning inside school, should we go and be learning carpenter work by the side?
Shegun, you don't need to be told the way the country is going.
It's a shame. It's a shame on the part of the government to say degree alone cannot guarantee you job.
No, the registrar is just trying to say the way it is. He's just he's letting you know that there are few jobs.
Yes.
There are few white collar jobs for those that have degrees. And that's the truth.
It's the truth, I know.
Shegu, do you know how many people come to the station and say they want to work as a voluntary staffs? Do you understand? If not that the station has not permitted some and to an extent has permitted some, and at the end of the day, if they are able to, they bring them in and start paying them. But then again, this is the reality. It's a reality that it is bringing to us. Parents, I said it, if degree is not enough, that's the truth. Even they have streams of income. Do you understand?
Yes.
Some of them have businesses. There are some people that have white collar jobs and they are selling provisions. Once they are done at work, and that's why many of them try to secure government job so that you can close around 4. By 4, you put one sales girl. You are there to also look at the books and see how it's done.
Yeah.
The reality on ground now is in Nigeria, really, degree is not enough. And for me, I will commend the JAMB registrar to come out and tell us the truth. And it's better they are there with the appreciate it and embrace it, the better for all. Shegun, there's no point. Let's just stop it there. All right, viewers, at this juncture, let me say many thanks to you for keeping your time and keeping the date with us on You for the Farm Morning Show. It's been a wonderful time, and I hope that you also enjoy your day. It's another weekend that we're going into. We hope that you enjoy your weekend, rest well, and do stay safe. I'm Adinke Weye Ajiboye.
All right, so please make sure that whatever you do, don't fall sick, don't go to the hospital because drugs are expensive, medical bills are on the high side. You need money for your family, not medical expenses. So please rest well, drink enough water, eat vegetables, eat fruit, and be good. Shegun Denola Adeyemi is the name.
All right, as we wrap up, let me also say many thanks to the production team. Well done, Hamed Adedigba. Well done, Sporting Owankego, and the rest of the team, of course, Akin Fagborough. And it's from all of us, bye for now.